May, Saturday. Always thought my life was under control, but sometimes it never can be fully satisfying. Spending another ordinary Saturday wasn't in God's plan for me. It all started when my best and only friend Riley called me. It really surprised me badly. Apparently, today was the release date for the new game called Twisted Goblins. It was a remake of a game that I played called Twisted Wizards, except it features goblins. It was almost awaited for a decade, but fans like me believed it would never get released. I need to get the game ASAP, and I knew the right person to ask, but I would consider that a very hard challenge. The only person who would even consider buying me a video game was Mom. I went to her directly and told her to get me the game. Are you serious, Greg? But Mom plainly refused to buy me the game since my grades weren't that good. So it was the time to move on to plan B. But Mom knew my plan. She told me that Dad wouldn't buy me the game either. I'd forgotten that he had been on a business trip since yesterday, so I would only see him next week. And I realized he won't ever buy me a game. No, Greg. Go read a book. I wasn't out of options though. There was one more person I could ask. My big brother Roderick, of course. I expected him to have no money as well. You should get a job. I got mad and told him to get one too. It might have ticked him off because he stopped me. He looked like he was about to punch me, but instead, he came closer, whispered to me, "Meet me at my room at night." I didn't want to, but I knew I had to. I sneaked out of the room once Mom went to bed. So I went to Roderick's room, tiptoed, and got into this room. Now, I'll be honest, I don't have fond memories in this room. So Roderick told me to take a seat on his wet and smelly bed. Then he told me to promise that I won't ever say anything that happened in this room to any soul. I was surprised Roderick acted like this, but I swore on myself to keep my mouth shut. He locked the door and sat next to me, creeping me out. Roderick took out a packet of white powder. I immediately knew what I was looking at. Narcotics or drugs. I used to have a feeling Roderick used them, but I never knew my hunch was true. I was going to snitch on him, but I remembered my promise. Roderick told me that he's been making money using these drugs for years. Technically, he's been doing a business involving drugs and making loads of secret money for things like buying gas for the van or repairing it without Dad's help. He told me he will include me in the business if I help him sell the drugs. I don't reject the offer, but he insisted on joining since he agreed to pay me loads of dollars. Roderick convinced me that the police won't notice if I did sales around my school. Are you sure, Roderick? I don't really want to go jail. Don't worry, bro. You got this. Money, 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 bruv. Just remember, sell, sell, sell. I got scared and started shivering, but Roderick told me he would pay me 10% of his pay without delay. I thought about it, and after a while, we shook our hands, signed a deal. I agreed to do a legal business with Roderick. Monday. I woke up early today because Roderick personally came to my room to wake me up. And judging by his looks, he had the stuff with him. I got ready and put the stuff into my own bag to sell. Roderick had given me necessary training the day before, so I was pretty confident. But I still needed a partner myself, and I knew the right guy. Riley did not agree at first, but I managed to brainwash him into agreeing. But I had to be careful around that idiot. He could mess up everything. Holy crap! Riley actually sold all the drugs. Happened so fast. I didn't see him anywhere after the 6th period. He said he sold it to a guy named Frisco in the washroom. That is so weird. He made a profit of about $1,578, which was pretty impressive. I didn't know guys carried big bucks since this school. I asked Riley who this Frisco was, but he had no idea about him. This meant that it was a fake name to keep incognito. Anyways, after school ends, I'll have to give Roderick the money so that he can split it among us. I was sure that Roderick would take the bigger share for himself and the suppliers. Roderick sold all the packets, so we were luckily done for the whole week. Me and Riley met Roderick and told him all that happened. He was genuinely surprised that the entire supply for the week was over, so he told us to wait and made a phone call immediately. Dude, guess what? He hanged up after a while and told us we had to do something for him. Roderick told us that he would give us another batch for the week and we had to sell it in the school again. Riley almost fainted at the words and I caught him before he passed out completely. Thursday, it's been almost 3 days and we made barely any profit. I sold 2 packets in the washroom and Riley sold nothing. The Frisco guys just showed up so far. Riley has recently been very nervous and told me that he peed the bed yesterday after seeing a nightmare where the police catches us. I told him we were going to do just fine. Only wanted to buy Goblin Twisters or Twisted Wizard, whatever it's called. But I think I'm overdoing it. After saving up some more, I'll finally buy it. Here's the dregs. I do hope we don't end up in trouble. We haven't been very secretive. If we all end up getting caught, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Friday, you won't believe what happened. When I was packing my bag with the books for the next period, two guys approached me and said they were looking for me. One of the guys gave me a paper slip and left. They both looked high on dope or something. Hey, take this, I'll be later. I read out the paper slip, which was really soggy. The guys wanted me to meet them after school. I realized that they knew I was the dealer. This was bad news. I left the school immediately and ran home. Meet me behind the school courtyard. We have some business to do. This was the last straw. I can't get caught now. We are finished. I was bored out of my mind and checked the news. The reporter was announcing the headlines, and I stumbled upon the discovery. The same guys who wanted me to meet them after school were arrested for possession of drugs. I felt sick and wanted to leave the country. But luckily, those idiots don't even remember me. They confessed to the police and it all became clear. Apparently, these were 22-year-old crack addicts disguised as students, hoping to sell drugs to the students. Then they stumbled across Rowley, who sold Axin for cheap rates. They went crazy and sold it in mini packets to other kids, and then they got caught. Axin was a rare and powerful drug, and anyone having it would get a lifetime sentence to prison. Those guys were very high while I was waiting for me and mistook a police officer for me. I was glad we were saved and immediately phoned Riley to say the news. He started panicking and crying at the same time. I told him we didn't have to worry since they don't remember us. But Riley told me that they might remember his name anyways. He immediately hung up. I wanted to tell Roderick everything that happened, but he wasn't at home. I just hope this idiot Rowley keeps his mouth shut. He's a crybaby. He might end up having to leave the country, but I don't think Riley's up to it. He might start calling Joshy or someone. I was thinking of leaving to Alaska and becoming a shepherd or a lumberjack, but at times like this, it's not necessary. The law ain't stopping me. Sunday. Riley just died. Happened yesterday night. His body was in the river. The officials say he might have drowned himself, but they don't know why. I'm not really sad though. He was too chicken to sell. I just agree with him now and I don't care if he's dead. Mr. Jefferson wanted to talk to me, but I ignored him during the funeral. He should have raised a better son. And yesterday, Frisco gave up and confessed that guy actually said Riley's name to the cops, but they weren't really sure who it was. But it wouldn't be much time before the cops found out that it was the same Riley that died. Roger has been telling me to be more careful and do sales in other places as well. I don't think that I'm up to it, but I'll try my best. Also, at this point, I don't think I need Goblin Twisters anymore. I actually forgot about it. After Riley's unaliving, I feel like it's all getting very serious, so I don't feel like Ryan as well. Someone might read this accidentally and get me in trouble, so I'm going to take a break. So I'm going to take a well-deserved break and keep the kids high. Goodbye for now.